Innovation and Incubation Council, supported by Atal Innovation Mission and AIC, we are laying the foundation for a dynamic platform designed to turn bold ideas into scalable, impactful enterprises. We deal with three verticals here: social innovation,
स्टार्टअप हो गया फिर यहाँ पे इंक्यूबेटर नहीं हम तो यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी
on behalf of Techno India Group, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to our leadership, our partners, and above all to our honored guests for joining us to inaugurate this new chapter. Can we have a round of applause for our guests? Welcome, sir. I would like to invite Meghdut Roy Chaudhary to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The excitement is palpable, I understand, but we do have to make sure that the... আপনারা একটুখানি উঠিয়ে দিন না, আপনাদের গেস্টরা এসছে সব বাইরে থেকে একটুখানি we try and work মাঝখানে থেকে নিন রিকোয়েস্ট as soon as we're all settled in. All right. A very good morning to everyone. Welcome to AIC Techno. This is a long-term dream come true. About 4 years ago, we realized that if in Bengal we wanted to push the ambit of innovation, then getting the support of NITI Aayog and building the first ever Atal Incubation Center for Startups was absolutely, it was a no-brainer. We had to make it happen. But it also says that, luck favors not just the brave, but also the well-prepared. It took us 4 years to get to this point, and I think I have goosebumps saying this. We made it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first and only Atal Incubation Center for Startups in the state. It's also a matter of serendipity. Who would have thought that we would get the Atal Incubation Center at a time when a personality like Dr. Ashok Lahiri is at the helm of affairs at the NITI Aayog. Let me tell you a quick little story. The first time that I met him in his office, not only me, but all of our team who were visiting him in Delhi, he sat us down for an hour and minute by minute understood what the role of Atal Incubation Center could be in reigniting Bengal. And before we left the room, after 50 questions about Bengal's entrepreneurs, who's doing well, is there an ecosystem, who's playing on at the ecosystem? After putting in that effort, he promised, I will be there at the launch, and today is that day. What a fantastic day to be here. On behalf of the entire Techno India Group family, on behalf of the entire Bengal ecosystem, this is a big win for us. And to have you with us on this day is an extra special affair. So thank you very much. A lot of people who are getting into Atal Incubation Centers, I was having a chat with my dear friend Promit, who runs this big part of the Atal Innovation Mission, is here with his whole team from Delhi. A lot of the institutions who get into building AICs are coming from academia. One of the big differences with us here in Bengal is we come from the world of innovation. This building has long stood for innovation. Some of the companies that you saw today were already in this building as tenants, as collaborators, as partners for 5 to 6 years. Now, the home finally has a plaque on top of it, and that's the Bengal Innovation Hub. We are proud that this could take the shape that it has taken today. We have lots of collaborators with us today. I must talk a little bit about our collaborators. For example, I have Christophe here. Christophe is of French origin, has been living in Bengal for the last 30 years almost, and very graciously, he has a company which does furnitures. He builds custom furnitures from Bengal, and he also has a massive fabrication lab with CNC machines, state-of-the-art infrastructure for helping students learn how to create prototypes. We might not have 30,000 square feet available in this building to build a fabrication lab, but we collaborate. So I reached out to Christoph, saw the facility, and we are building a specific startup program for people who want to build prototypes, be it in wood, be it in resin. They have the state-of-the-art infrastructure, and the students will be living there and building their startups from there as part of the Atal Incubation Center, Satellite Center, Fabrication Lab in Joka. So thank you so much. Please thank Christoph for joining us. We have people like Dicky in the room. Dicky, ache amader Banglar ghor jamai boli amra oke. Dicky married a dear friend of ours, Pooja, and both of them are extremely influential in the APAC region for startups. They've been building startups across the region, and now they are going to be spending 6 months a year at the Atal Incubation Center Techno as entrepreneurs in residence, helping the startups who are building here open up markets in the APAC region. So thank you for collaborators like that. Thank you. Welcome to the Bengal Innovation Hub. We have people like Sheena. I see Sheena here. Sheena, another dear friend, ex-Googler, spent her time across the world, grew up in Japan, lives in Goa now. But the moment that she heard that we were building Atal Incubation Center Techno in Kolkata, she said, you know what, I'm here for everything you need to do with AI and media, and she's joined us as a mentor. So we have people like that joining us from all across. I see a lot of friends from the industry behind. No successful startup ecosystem can be built without the marquee companies that surround it. Be it larger MNCs, local companies, who then have to support the ecosystem. I have my dear friend Shubhashish here somewhere, I did see him before. Shubhashish is the founder of the Bengal Business Council. We are old friends, we were doing that journey for a long time. And now there's more than 600 companies of Bengali origin founded by Bengalis in Bengal. And most of these larger companies within the Bengal Business Council are also coming on board to mentor the startups, invest in them, and making sure the overall ecosystem grows. So thank you to ecosystem players like Bengal Business Council for joining hands with the Atal Incubation Center. Now enough about thanks. I think we will get to thanking. There's a whole section on thanks that will be taken on by Pauline later. But I also want to touch upon the point of adaptability. This building, when we were walking up, somebody asked me, what is this building? What was this building? Who owns it? What is the whole point of it? So to give a quick little brief on that, this used to be an old hotel. And a hotel can only serve so many people. It was not a place where societal growth, let's put it that way, was happening. We took it over in 2018 and converted it into a space for learning, for interdisciplinary learning, for experiential learning. And we've supported so many artists of Bengal. This became a cultural hub for Bengal. This has been acting in that way since 2018. But today, it is our pleasure that we will also be able to support entrepreneurs and businessmen in the state and really push the ambit of Bengal, hopefully with the support of our Honorable Finance Minister and his dream, what he has put in his budget, that we have to put Startup Bengal forward, industries in Bengal forward. We hope to play an important role in that journey, and we're very glad to have the support of both the central government and the state government on that affair. And last but not the least, a round of applause please, ladies and gentlemen. We must not stop on that. It's a day of rejoicing. And I must say a little thank you, actually a larger thank you, to Professor Shuman Chakraborty, somebody who I've looked up to in the world of academia and who's an innovator in his own right. Massive work in the world of medtech and public health. And there'll be more on this later, but we have recently double down on a collaboration together as well with IIT Kharagpur. I will be discussing about that at the Techno India University convocation that is to follow. But thank you so much for your faith in us as an institution and being part of joining hands together for innovation in the state. Even the place that we have that has been built around you, you see this infrastructure that has been built has also been done by an IIT Kharagpur alumni. Shreep, if you can please put your hands up. Ladies and gentlemen, we we told Ashok sir in his office exactly 43 days ago that we are going to make this happen on the 26th of July. Today is that day, and this entire re-christening of this facility has been done in 42 days by this gentleman and his team. So this is day zero for the Bengal Innovation Hub, and this is a day when a lot of new wings will unfurl, a lot of new dreams will see the light of day, and for all of that, I seek your blessings and love. Keep supporting us. Together we can make Calcutta and Bengal very beautiful. Thank you very much.
I think Meghdut has set up the context really well. So I'll not take much of a time, but I would really want to thank our honorable dignitaries to be present here, because today is a landmark moment for the state of West Bengal. It's just not the inauguration of a Atal Incubation Center, the first Atal Incubation Center in West Bengal, but it's actually, I will say, a milestone in the journey of India as an innovation nation. So I will just talk about a little about Atal Innovation Mission. So we are now currently in the 10th year of our operations. So way back in 2016, when we started our journey, there was one mandate given to us by the Honorable Prime Minister: develop and nurture a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship across the country. But when I say culture, culture is a generational change we are talking about. And that will come only after 10, 20 years. But what we can do right now is tactically plan our interventions across the innovation life cycle and innovation value chain. So that's exactly what Atal Innovation Mission started doing from 2016. And you will see all our 12 different programs happening and affecting various stages of our innovators life cycle. Right from our first intervention, which is at the school, which is the Atal Tinkering Lab, which has become a brand of its own, that's spread across 10,000 schools across the country, across 720 plus districts. And I'm happy to say, in the West Bengal budget this year, these 200 crores has been earmarked to create 1,000 Atal Tinkering Labs in the state of West Bengal. So that's where the whole scientific temper is developed in the young kids. And imagine a scenario for 6 years, from class 6 to class 12, you tinker with all 21st century technologies, you get to play with 3D printers, miniaturized electronics, robotics, sensors. So when you go to college, you have certain ideas in mind. You don't fear technology, you want to do something out of that technology. And that is where I think our second institutional investment that I say comes up, which is the Atal Incubation Center. The center that you see right here is actually the example of how our AIC should operate. And this AIC Techno, which has Meghdut has rightly pointed out, has actually come to fruition in the last 43-45 days, but it was in the pipeline for 2 more years. I think the team here actually engaged with us to get this to the point where it is right now. And sir, just to point out, over my experience over the last 2 days, what I have seen and interacted with the team, this incubation center starts off with I will say, a head start, because this has already got its infrastructure in place. It is a very focused incubator. It's not only concentrating on our traditional strength, which is engineering, food and agri-tech, but rather it has gone beyond what the country needs. It has gone beyond for a great horizontal, which is AI. So AI lab you have already seen, so that is one concentration area that we'll be focusing upon. There is a second thing, which is a media house that we have seen. That's something I think exists in a very few AICs, so this gives a distinct advantage for all our media tech startups that are incubated across the country to get co-incubation in this center. And finally, I will say the sustainability hub that you can see. So that's something I think is the need of the hour in the state of Bengal and in the country as a whole. So these are the 3 pillars on which this incubation center will stand and operate, and will expand as we go forward. I would also take this opportunity to thank the Techno India team to put together, I will say, 3 major things that requires for a success of a AIC. I think you have put in a fantastic leadership of your divisions. So that's the starting point that sets the vision. Second, nothing succeeds if you don't have a dynamic team in place. And I have interacted with the team. I have seen how the team has worked in the last 2 months. So a round of applause for the team. And finally, nothing succeeds if we can't converge the whole ecosystem together. And that's what yesterday we had a brief interaction with the startup community, with the investor community, and all the mentors that can be possible. And I would say the group, the set of advisors and mentors that we have put in, that is going to be a cornerstone for the success of this incubation center going forward. So, I would say what we envision for this AIC, it's not exactly another incubator. This will not be the 90-second incubator or AIC in the AIMS portfolio. It's going to be a very distinct, it's going to be a lighthouse incubator, which we believe will set benchmark for quality of incubation. That's where the country is focusing right now. It's not about numbers, it's about how do you improve the quality of incubation, how do you improve the success rate of startups that are coming in. So that's where I think the benchmark will be set. And I'm sure every incubation center takes about a year or so time to get up and running, and this center is going to be one of the exemplary ones in Eastern India and further going on to India. So thank you so much everyone for coming in, and Godspeed to AIC Techno.
Thank you. Can we have a round of applause for Promit Das, Program Director, Atal Innovation Mission? Thank you, sir. Could I request Professor Shubhan Chakraborty, Director, IIT Kharagpur, to share a few words with us?
Good morning, and it's a great feeling. Of course, the person at the helm of Niti Aayog himself, Dr. Lahiri, is here. The Finance Minister of West Bengal, and great personality by himself, Dr. Dasgupta, is here. And most importantly, a set of enthusiastic people who have made this kind of thing possible. And I start with, of course, congratulating you, Meghdut, and your team. Having said that, he was director of the institute, but I have myself learned it by want to tell you talking about. So, as a person, I have been familiar with the Atal innovation part of it, which is the school level program, and for two reasons. One is that the previous mission director, Dr. Chintan Vaishnav, has been very close to me. I mean, from the time when he was a MIT faculty and not the mission director, he was known to me. And he has visited some of the fields where we have kept our innovation technologies. So I have learned a lot from him, and I have interacted with him in many different occasions. And actually quite a few times he has administrator, as a researcher, as a product developer, technology person, one thing we can actually build upon that. Of course, I am not a very competent person to do that. Very big personalities they are there, but what we always do is we put proposals to such important personalities, and this may be one that we will be giving subsequently. So where from I look into is the perspective of an educational institution. I am not really looking into the perspective of someone who already has a successful startup or already has a successful business. So today, when in the morning I was looking into the different developments and advancements, I was not really that much fascinated in seeing that people who are already into some business doing very well. I was more fascinated to see that young kids, when asked to explain in one sentence, was explaining in a few sentences. I wanted them to explain in 100 sentences, because they are the future. It is not about someone who is an established business person and coming something in the innovation center. It is someone like them who are the futures. And we have to imagine that we are looking here to such people, but a creamy layer of the nation. There is a huge scope of doing such things in the underserved rural places where there is no depth of talent. And how we can integrate them with such an ecosystem is something that we need to consciously develop. So last several decades, or maybe I would say more last 1.5 decade, thanks to our central leadership, we have got familiar with how a national drive in startups can impact the lives of the young people, including students in engineering and beyond. But at the same time, we have to realize that let us not get over carried away with startup as an obsession. Now everyone talks about startup, it is good, but we have to imagine, and this is where I am tempted to think about this Make in India that we talk about, because a large fraction of the startups, their success and their future is going to be hinged around what we indigenously develop. And Make in India is never going to be that great unless we innovate in India and translate that to Make in India pipeline. So the entire story, narrative, if it is concentrated on innovate in India, transfer to Make in India, and then that takes us to a new level. So the question is how we do that. So incubation, to my understanding, must become an innovation operating system. It is not just incubation per se. So what it requires, you are all aware that what professors do in the labs. Professors work on certain things which are new when they are working on a research lab. And all such new things are not really in the direction of getting into an incubation space. So many such research will be some target driven publication. Sometimes it is just out of scientific curiosity, out of fun. All these things happen. But when it comes to a stage that it has the potential of getting into further possibilities, we have to see how we can connect those with the spirit of these incubation centers. So what I realized is that is the aspect that is missing. I see many of the startups come who do not have access to the foundation scientific development. And if that is not there, I do not see it's a very innovative startup. On the other hand, there are many startups, or rather not startups, there are many groups who do outstanding research but have absolutely no clue of how to progress into the startup arena. So this connectivity has to be bridged from technology push to mission pull, and it has to be done through an organic ecosystem. In IIT Kharagpur, two major initiatives that we have taken. One is that every PhD thesis we are making a IPR scanning. I mean, which is relevant. I'm not saying a theoretical maths thesis, but something which has that potential. So we are making a scan, because forget about the student. Sometimes the teacher is also not aware of the potential, and to bring out that potential. The other is we have started from this year innovation-centric PhD program. But the PhD program is not fundamentally driven by the publication as a metric. It is driven by the different aspects of innovation, and there are mechanisms by which they are going to be evaluated. We are admitting the students right now in the first batch. So these are small things organically we are trying to do, and when we are trying to do, the most important thing that we have to remember is now is an era of
आपने हमारी जब बात हुई जब सिलेक्शन हुआ ना, कि मोस्ट प्रोबेबली हो जाएगा सिलेक्शन, मेरा तो सिलेक्शन हुआ नहीं था। वही तो मैं सोच वहाँ पर जाके
बच गया
some study economics,
अब मुझे अच्छा लग रहा
mechanical engineering, completely different maybe. But you have to realize now that these subjects have no barrier. So currently, our main interest is to solve problems.
তারা লাইফটা শেষ করে
Meet climate crisis, meet affordable healthcare, and these problems do not have a disciplinary boundary.
So it's a big day for Kolkata. যেমনটা আপনারা দেখতে পাচ্ছেন, I am at the launch party or launch event of this first Atal Incubation Center of West Bengal, যেখানে আপনারা দেখতে পেলেন আমাদের ফাইন্যান্স মিনিস্টার স্যার এসছেন, ডক্টর দাসগুপ্ত স্যার, তার সাথে সাথে যদি বলি এক সেকেন্ড, তার সাথে সাথে নীতি আয়োগ থেকে ডক্টর অশোক লাহিড়ী স্যার এসছেন, অ্যান্ড তার সাথে সাথে আইআইটি খড়গপুরের ডিরেক্টর রয়েছেন, মেঘদুদ্দার রয়েছেন, এবং আরও বিশিষ্টজনেরা রয়েছেন, এপ্যাক থেকে এসছেন অনেকে, অ্যান্ড স্টার্ট আপ অন্টারপ্রেনার্সরা রয়েছেন। সো ইটস আ গ্রেট ডে ফর কলকাতা বিকজ Atal Incubation Center, first Atal Incubation Center of West Bengal has been launched. আজকে একটা ভিডিও এসছে মেঘদূত রয় চৌধুরীর সাথে, মেঘদূতদার সঙ্গে, আপনারা গিয়ে দেখুন, পুরো ডিটেলসে আলোচনা করেছি হোয়াট ইজ দিস ইনকিউবেশন সেন্টার অ্যাবাউট, অ্যান্ড এটা কি করবে সেটা গিয়ে দেখুন। আপনারা গিয়ে দেখে তারপরে আপনারা ডিসাইড করতে পারেন। আপনারা যদি এন্টারপ্রেনার হন, আপনারা কিন্তু এখান থেকে ইনকিউবেশন নিতে পারেন। অবভিয়াসলি সমস্ত ডিটেলস দেওয়া রয়েছে সেই ডেসক্রিপশানে, সেই ভিডিও ডেসক্রিপশানে, সেই পডকাস্টের ডেসক্রিপশানে, গিয়ে দেখুন। অ্যান্ড এইরকমভাবেই আশা করছি পশ্চিমবঙ্গ এগিয়ে যাক। এটা ডিটেল ভিডিও আসবে খুব শিগগিরই। সো আপনারা দেখতে ভুলবেন না স্বপন স্যার কী বলছেন, অশোক স্যার কী বলছেন, এবং আপনারা তো শুনলেন মেঘদা কী বললেন, তার সাথে সাথে আইআইটি খড়গপুরের ডিরেক্টর স্যার কী বলছেন। সো হোপ এরকমই স্টার্ট আপ ইকোসিস্টেম আমাদের পশ্চিমবঙ্গের গ্রো করুক, এরকমভাবেই গ্রো হোক আমাদের পশ্চিমবঙ্গ। কেমন লাগছে আপনাদের অবশ্যই কমেন্ট করে জানাবেন। টাটা, এই লাইভটা এখানেই শেষ করছি।